Delta-8 THC products are stirring up controversy and earning bans in a growing number of adult use and medical cannabis states. Confusion swirls around Delta-8 as its operators and regulators seek clarity on what this compound is, whether it is legal, whether it should be legal, and the potential risks and opportunities presented. In this video, we will explain the science behind Delta-8 THC, discuss its current regulatory state, and offer guidance to cannabis operators and investors on how to proceed. The topics we will cover in this video include Delta-8 versus normal THC, the legality of Delta-8 THC, market demand for Delta-8 products, why state regulators are banning Delta-8 products, and whether Delta-8 gets you high. And finally, the financial viability of producing and selling Delta-8 THC products. So, let's dive in. As always, the information contained in this presentation is meant for guidance purposes only and not as professional, legal, or tax advice. Further, it does not give personalized legal, tax, investment, or any business advice in general. For the first several years of the cannabis market, regulations have revolved around two cannabinoids, THC and CBD, the former being the primary chemical responsible for the high sensation of cannabis, and the latter being the non-intoxicating compound with exceptional healing properties. As the parade of legalization marches on and public knowledge of the plant expands, more and more patients and consumers and regulators are coming to understand what researchers have known for a long time. This two-compound view of cannabis is deeply simplistic. There are actually at least 113 known cannabinoids, each exhibiting varied effects. When the cannabis industry and its regulatory bodies refer to THC, especially as a level of potency in products, they are specifically referring to Delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol. In fact, the USDA definition of industrial hemp is any cannabis plant or derivative thereof that contains not more than 0.3% Delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol or THC on a dry weight basis. The USDA targets Delta-9 THC in this definition as a way to ensure that industrial hemp plants are grown and used for industrial or medical purposes. Makes sense. But where it gets tricky is that Delta-9 THC is not the only cannabinoid with intoxicating effects, and that's where Delta-8 tetrahydrocannabinol comes into play. Delta-8 THC is a cannabinoid derived from hemp-produced CBD. Chemically, Delta-8 is similar to Delta-9 in that they both have a double bind in their structure, which, when binding with the body's endocannabinoid system, creates the feeling of euphoria associated with being high. Where Delta-9 THC has the double bond on the 9th carbon atom, Delta-8 has a double bond on the, can you guess it, 8th carbon atom, hence their names. The complications from a regulatory standpoint come from the fact that Delta-8 THC can be derived from industrial hemp. Now, regulators are reacting, banning Delta-8 THC products because it is perceived as a backdoor into producing intoxicating cannabis products. The legality of Delta-8 THC products is a hot point of contention at this moment in time. The question and ruling on legality are affected by a few conflicting opinions and interpretations of federal laws and the effects of these relatively new products. At the root of this discussion is the 2018 Farm Bill, which established that hemp, that is, cannabis with low Delta-9 THC levels, can be legally grown and extracted in the United States. Hence, cultivators and advocates feel that from a technical and federal law standpoint, hemp-derived Delta-8 THC can be legally produced in every state as long as cultivators and manufacturers follow USDA guidelines. If we follow the rules laid out by the Farm Bill, Delta-8 production should fall under the umbrella of legally hemp-derived products, like CBD. To complicate matters, in August of 2020, the Drug Enforcement Agency issued an interim final rule stating, all synthetically derived tetrahydrocannabinols remain Schedule I controlled substances. However, the DEA did not make clear distinctions between hemp-derived and cannabis-derived. As federal regulators have been slow to provide further clarification on the issue, individual states have stepped up and made the legality of Delta-8 a state-to-state regulatory issue. As federal agencies and state regulators race to understand cannabis and its various cannabinoids and compounds, what were there, 113? The market is following its own course. The number of Google searches for Delta-8 THC have increased nearly 100% in the past year, and retailers and manufacturers are reporting sky-high sales of Delta-8 products. Simply put, the word is out. Delta-8 is a viable option to Delta-9 rich products. States that have no or limited cannabis regulatory programs are seeing a serious increase in Delta-8 product sales, and regulators are scrambling to keep up. As of our publication date, 11 states have banned Delta-8 THC products, with at least 5 others currently debating bans or regulatory structures. It is very likely that more states will be banning Delta-8 THC products or will implement regulatory structures limiting access to Delta-8 THC products. Interestingly, states with legalized adult use cannabis have led the way on these bans. This suggests that states without regulated adult use or medical cannabis markets will be acting quickly and could make the currently booming Delta-8 THC market come to an abrupt halt. One key aspect of this discussion we've avoided until now is whether Delta-8 THC has an intoxicating effect. And while we aren't in the business of product reviews or recommendations, we can tell you unequivocally that yes, Delta-8 THC products have an intoxicating effect. Woohoo! If you search reviews for Delta-8 THC products, you'll see that the effects are similar to but are considered significantly more mild than traditional Delta-9 THC products. Simply put, the proliferation of intoxicating THC products outside regulated markets undercuts the legal adult use and medical cannabis industry. That said, once regulators have sorted out how to manage Delta-8 THC products, there may be an opportunity to capitalize on this market. The more mild effects of Delta-8 THC could develop into a long-term niche market. But until that legality is firmly established, we cannot overemphasize how important it is to stay fully compliant with current regulations. Cash flow is already at such a premium in the cannabis industry, we cannot recommend investing into operations supporting an unclear future for Delta-8 THC products. It is already hard enough to win a license and try to turn a profit. Putting these accomplishments at risk is just not advisable. For these reasons, it is critical that cannabis business owners and operators have a complete understanding of the state laws and regulations affecting the production and sale of Delta-8 products. If you have verified legality in your state, on the other hand, and are invested in cultivating, distributing, manufacturing, or retailing Delta-8 products, the next step is finding the most financially prudent way to integrate them into your cannabis businesses. Our tax and finance team at GreenGrowth CPAs exclusively provides services to business owners and operators in the cannabis industry. Now, to learn more about our outsourced CFO services and schedule a consultation on whether Delta-8 products make business sense, visit us at greengrowthcpas.com or call 1-800-674-9050. Thank you for your time. We hope this information has been helpful. If you have any questions or want information, please leave us a comment below, and be sure to like this video and give us a follow to learn more about the cannabis industry.